everybody. Thanks for your weekly update. I know it's very exciting to you. And now I go back to the district for 2 weeks, be very engaged. Really looking forward to doing our education listening tour. We're going to be all over the East Bay in our district, community colleges, high schools, elementary schools, and colleges to talk about what we can do as a now senior member of the Education Committee to help facilitate young people in education. As Benjamin Franklin famously said at the beginning of this country, any investment in education in America is the best investment we can make. So for the future of this country, the history of this country, really looking forward to this outreach and being in the district. Again, we're going to be engaged as we always are with lots of town halls and community meetings. And again, coming out of COVID, hopefully, I'm really excited about it. I love to do these things. So look forward to that. Please stay tuned to us. We'll be letting you know where we're going to be. So if you want to participate, we love your participation. In that regard, this week was a wonderful week for me. The State of the Union, I thought the president was spectacular, covered a lot of material, managed the unfortunate discourtesy that's now here from my Republican colleagues. Some of my Republican colleagues, the vast majority of them, do not do this, but people screaming and disrupting. I thought he did a wonderful job of engaging and keeping command. A lot on our plate, but in a difficult environment, giving the majority now in this House being held by the Republicans with some very, very disruptive members. So it was a wonderful State of the Union. I had the wonderful good fortune of having my guest be a good friend who's had a wonderful life story and is a great resource to Contra Costa County. The chancellor, the interim chancellor at the Community College District, she told her story in discussions with Sonia about coming to this country from Iran and at 5 years old and going to DVC, and now being in the position she's in. It was really wonderful to see her in the gallery as I listened from the floor for the State of the Union. Something I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do this, but also be able to have someone like that in our district. The chancellor's just a wonderful person, and that was great. We also had our first two committee meetings in transportation infrastructure, and I was able to engage with the head of the FAA. This has been an ongoing problem in my involvement since the near miss at SFO, the Air Canada near miss, 59 feet from having the largest aviation disaster in the history of the country. We have a remarkable safety record in this country, but I'm afraid that because of the age of some of our infrastructure, that we're coming too close, and the demands, the wonderful opportunities for people to travel, but also the demands of the system. So we were able, with colleagues, to get $30 million in the appropriations last Congress to upgrade this system. This is an important part of people knowing when the situation has changed in their flight, and also updating the technology so flight controllers, pilots, everyone can be connected so we don't have these near disasters. So it's been a little frustrating, to tell you the truth, to make sure that we got the attention of the FAA. It's not the administration. We work closely with Secretary Buttigieg and are very fortunate to work with the Biden administration on this, but sometimes the bureaucracy has a mind of its own. So we were really encouraged by that. We also had a hearing in the Education Labor Committee. Started off now with a new majority, Chairman Fox from North Carolina, who's a friend, but very different from my perspective. But I respect her, and we get along well together, but very different in terms of our approach to education. But ultimately, we want the same thing, which is to invest in children's future. So we had a hearing that was sometimes too partisan in my belief, but it was a good hearing, and I was able to ask Jared Polis, a former member from Colorado of the committee and of the House, who's now the governor of Colorado. We've done some really good work, both in California and in Colorado and other states, on intersession learning loss. I headed a task force when I was in the legislature about this, and how much kids lose when they're not in school. So all of that we've responded to with more programs after school, more programs in the summertime. The state of California gives free and reduced lunch year-round. All of these things, and more nutritional ones, is to help kids in their cognitive development, the retention of that, but also help them in their personal health and the nutrition with the meals they get, and make sure those meals are available even when they're not in school. So all of those things are positive things. They shouldn't be partisan. They put California in position to be ahead of the curve in helping our kids and now getting them back and make up those gains they lost when they were not in school, because we needed to protect them from the pandemic. So all of these things are important. I'm very excited about this. I'm discouraged to be in the minority. It's always better to be in the majority, but we're working to improve Americans' quality of life. As always, thank you for allowing me this opportunity, and stay in touch with us.